Hi, this is Pat Weill, author of the brand new modern legal thriller, The Southern Trust Conspiracy. And today I'd like to read to you another exciting scene. Alright, this is Deputy District Attorney Dee Blade on the right, the beautiful redhead, and Johnny Rosh. Now, both of these guys work for the San Diego District Attorney's Office. They're former lovers, and they're getting reacquainted because they've been reunited on this case. And as our scene starts, Dee is thinking. So this is from her point of view. Alright, here we go. All four attorneys would remain on edge for quite a while. Morrison Grant was still at large, having successfully escaped at the courthouse, so his trial had been put on hold. And this was terrible news for the Major Violators Unit, because the case against him had been airtight. As for Millie Haukea, her arraignment was scheduled for the following day, in only 12 hours' time. At that hearing, the charges against her would be read, and Blade would argue against the granting of bail in any amount. On only 3 hours of sleep, she thought, with a little smile. If that, said Rosh. What? She blurted out, thinking for a second that he'd read her mind. But then she realized that was impossible. Sorry, he said, sipping at a glass of water. I got something caught in my throat. I was about to say, if that waiter takes any longer to bring our food, he can kiss his tip goodbye. That'd be a good thing, though, right? He placed his cloth napkin on the table and looked her in the eye as he stood. Yes, it would. You're such a positive person, Dee. That's one of the many things I love about you. He came around the table, leaned close while setting a warm, strong hand on her back, and took her by surprise with a soft lip lock that promised more. It was a taste of heaven. Be right back, he murmured. Don't say it, she replied as he set off for the men's room, knowing Rosh had been about to deliver that well-worn line about having to shake hands with an old friend. He gave a deep and honest belly laugh, then turned to flash her a handsome grin. It's on the house, someone said as Blade's second glass of wine materialized. She looked up to see their waiter, who'd caught her looking after Rosh. He smiled knowingly, with our apologies for the delay. At that instant, the lights cut out, plunging the room into total darkness. Nervous utterances rippled through the restaurant as Blade rooted around in her purse for her phone. Telling herself not to worry, she found the familiar shape of her cell phone, powered it on, swiped the screen, and tapped it to activate the flashlight. Calmer now, she shined it on her drink, reached for it, and knocked back a comforting swallow. Soon, she and Johnny would be eating well, then sleeping poorly. But would it be at his place or hers? Mine, she decided, just as... And I've cut the text off there because I don't want you to know what happened. I want you to check out my brand new modern legal thriller on Amazon. Also available on Kindle Unlimited if you have a subscription. It's at no extra charge. Thank you for listening. Once again, this is Pat Weill, award-winning author, and that's my new book, The Southern Trust Conspiracy. Wishing you a good day.